Okay, so I'm having to use my phone for the live stream. This is so weird. Yeah. Let me know if the microphone's working. Okay. Alan. Alan's been a good help behind the scenes, right? This is weird that it switched to my phone without me doing anything. Hello again. Yes, hello again. Like, I guess this is the fifth or sixth time I tried to do this. All right. My phone camera is actually better than the computer, so I don't mind it, but why the rigmarole? Yeah. Woohoo. Got it. So everything's working okay? Finally? 13 minutes after 8 o'clock? Actually, I like the phone camera better. Now, do I have enough charge to last a couple hours? Second this time. Jordan's here. Okay. Alan's here. Tommy's here. TJ's new life. Hey, finally. Right? Finally got the live stream going. Tommy Taylor, Jordan Kirkpatrick. Real clear image. Yeah. It switched to my phone. I got to record off my phone, but I can still see the chat on my computer. Something's going on that I don't know how it did it. And I didn't push any buttons by mistake. No, I did not push any buttons by mistake or nothing. It just updated this thing to where now I have to use my phone for the camera, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Gremlins. Yeah. You like the blue shirt? I just got it yesterday. Actually, it's brand new. All right. So I'll wait a while. This was the strangest attempt to upload ever. So I plan to go until 10 p.m. Eastern. It's funny. I'm looking. Okay. Can you see me looking at you at the in the camera? Hmm. In the phone. I'm gonna go until 10 p.m. as long as all the batteries last. As long as the batteries on the microphone, the batteries in the computer, and the batteries on the phone. As long as they all last. This is actually a better view. I like this view a little bit better as far as clarity, and there's no weird matrix looking type of lighting effects. All righty. Yeah, hopefully everyone will find this again. I think they know by now that I have technical difficulties with the live streams. 10:15 a.m. Saturday. All righty. TJ's in Australia. That's why. TJ's new life. We have another TJ that shows up, so I got to say the whole name. Brandon is here. Smack or smash that like button. Yeah, yeah. Do it. Yeah, it's working. Jay Valente's here. Hey, Jay. I gotta do this live stream from my phone. Can you imagine that the only way to get the video to work is if I use my phone. And I don't know how it's connected. It just by default on YouTube on my phone, it came up with this message: pause camera or switch views on the camera. I got two options. I don't have the option to say, stop being so stupid, man. Why are you doing this to me? Picture looks fantastic. Well, there you go. Maybe that's why. Yeah, much higher resolution than normal. Dang. I don't know if that's good or bad. Is that good? You can watch me on TV without suffering? Uh, let's see. Should I got to move closer. I can't see the comments. Jay had a good premiere today. Hey Jay, at least I can like 5 of Patrick's videos in the same day. All right, so everything's good. Okay, so I've got Knife River Flint, and I've got a grainy dacite obsidian. Yeah. So which one first? Everyone's been wanting me to nap obsidian. Get a book that live stream for dummies. Yeah, I need a book that says live stream for super dummies. Super crystal clear. Hmm. Very interesting. Ask for corn. Jared's here. Flint. Yeah. Okay. We'll do the Flint. Mm-hmm. All right. Everybody's here basically. Yeah. Oh, I know what I forgot. I forgot my glasses. Okay, hold on. Hold on. I forgot my eyes, my second set of eyes. Okay. Yeah. I don't want nothing to happen, even though I might not need them for this. Okay. Hey, guys, says, hey, Prairie Dog or Prairie Ghost Ken. Hey, guys, hope you're having a great day. It was almost not a good day because I wasn't able to figure this live stream stuff out. And I was going to say, you know what? I might just cancel it. Hey, Bushy's here. Fertile Joe. I have to use my phone now for the live stream because it doesn't like my computer's camera. Yeah. I tried like 4 times to use the computer's camera, and then YouTube says, nope, don't like it. No. Forget it. I'm just going to force feed it to the phone. And you're going to have to pick 2 options, either switch the phone view or pause the video. That's the only options it gave me. Yeah. Imagine that. These guys are a bunch of authoritarians. Who would have thunk it? All right. So I just knocked off a piece of this Knife River flint, and it's got a big old crack in there. There it is. Yep. So I don't know if this clear view is good or bad. Peter Cohn's here. Yay. Hey, Ken, hopefully you started breaking into some stones. Yeah, if any of you guys haven't broken into stones and you're new and you say, I don't want to start napping because I don't know how to nap well, you better start it. Because, people tell me to just do it. So I'm going to tell you, just do it. Yeah. Some of this Knife River flint is really good. This is a good piece so far. I took off that crack part. Yeah. This little crack part. Let's see. Good clear video says, yeah. Okay. So as long as it behaves, I can continue using this video setup. Yeah. I'm using my phone, which is weird because I have my phone set up on a tripod and I can see the chat on the computer. And I can see myself on the computer while using my phone. For a boomer like me, this kind of technology is like mind blowing. Clear video. Yeah, everyone's saying it's a clear video. Thumbs up to Alan, Fertile Joe, Peter. Yep. Everybody say hi. Hey, Jesse. Okay, so I still have the issue where it's hard for me to see because I get the lights in my face. Maybe I don't have to keep the lights in my face with this new camera. I mean, my phone camera. It's not a new one. So this phone camera phone, yeah, I can move the light away from my face so it's not like blaring into my face. I can see better. Yeah. Maybe I can nap better. Yeah. Let's see. Ed Gould is here. I was the first on the first video, but there was no comment line. Yeah. That's what happens. Not only did YouTube mess me up there too, it forced me to use my phone's camera. So right now I've got my phone's camera. I got my phone on a tripod set up to do the video. Yeah. And hopefully all the batteries last. I think my battery on my phone can last 2 hours on this live stream. You can see in my glasses, I have Christmas lights set up down here. Why do I have Christmas lights set up? Because I was messing with the lighting. And for some reason with the Christmas lights, it warms up the lighting so it doesn't look so stark. Right? But if I do this, you can see them all. See, I'm trying all kinds of stuff to try to get a good lighting effect. Probably turns out that all I need to do is use my phone camera. Phone camera, camera phone. Alan Cole says, I'm not exhausted from work tonight. I passed out during Wednesday's live. You did? Tommy says, it took 4 times to get it going, Billy, so you wasn't late. Yeah. No one is late today. It was me that's late because I had technical difficulties. Boom, the mic is great. Hey, Gear Nasher's here. I think it's the first time I've seen you on the live stream. Yeah. Boom, mic is great. Abrasion sounds much more tolerable. Okay. Interesting. Everything's better. Yeah. Everything's better with Blue Bonnet on it. Remember that commercial? Oh, this. I don't know if I like this too much because it overshot. The flint is too good. I'm hitting it way too hard. It doesn't need to be hit that hard. I scooped it tremendously. Dang it. Okay, so hopefully everything will be okay as far as the technology goes. And I'll be able to sustain the live stream without any weirdness going on. There was a severe thunderstorm earlier, and lightning hit pretty close, but it looks like nothing got knocked out. The power is still on. Phone still works. There's a flash flood warning. I think we got over an inch of rain in like 20 minutes. I mean, it was coming down hard. Anyways, I'm working on a piece of Knife River flint, and I just knocked off a big old chunk that I didn't want to knock off. I scooped it really bad. Then this came off on the overshot. So now I got a warped or wonky piece. This is difficult stuff to come by. All right, so y'all hit that like button, says Mike Mason. Ken says, I bought a cheap Osbot 4K cam for my banjo and fiddle videos and have my iPhone 11 for outdoor videos. I don't have an iPhone, so that scratches that one. But I'm getting another. I got one new phone on a separate line for business, and then I'm going to get a brand new phone for my first original line. So we'll see how it goes. They're all Android phones. I only use PCs and Androids. Yeah. What camera do you have that when it doesn't want to work? Brian Olson says the one on my computer doesn't want to work for YouTube anymore. Yeah, I use the computer's camera, the webcam, the built-in camera on the computer. It works fine for me to take my thumbnail pictures, but for some reason, it doesn't do the live streams anymore. See, Gear Nasher says I've been here for weeks, but weeks ago, wife gets dysphoria from the vibrator, but hates when I wear headphones. Ken says your setup looks and sounds good to me, Jack. Yeah, it seems to be better now with this new arrangement that YouTube is forcing me to use. It doesn't give me any choice. Let's see. Good evening, Patrick, says Jeremy. Brennan says the wife and I had it out over abrading and Jack Crafty a few months back. Had to make some new agreements about napping vids. Oh, dang. So dysphoria when it comes to abrading? Right? Is that what it was? I'd never heard of that. It's like a nails on a chalkboard type thing. That's interesting. Let's see. Tommy Taylor says you can make a bird point out of that big scoop. Positive thinking, happy mistakes. Yeah, I mean, I can still use it, or I can stick it in the auction. One of you guys can use it. This is a regular flake. This one is the overshot. Yeah. I can always use it for flint and steel kits because this Knife River flint is really good for flint and steel. Are some flints better than others? Oh yeah. I can tell a difference on some of them. Yeah. Some of the flints work better than others on the flint and steel stuff. So I'm using the 6-ounce bopper, Mike Tufts bopper. If you don't know where I get Mike Tufts boppers, someone else tell them. I've already said it quite a bit. I don't want to have to keep repeating myself. I would feel like I'm running commercials. I already demonetized the live streams. Yeah. I don't want no commercial interruptions. I mean, I'll give you a word from our sponsors like Danny Collins and Mike Tufts and Alan Cole and various others. Brian Olson, if he's here. There are various subscribers that send me free stuff and support the channel. Harley or Smallzilla sends me free stuff. Yeah, let me know, Harley, how if you're selling any tools or anything, let me know how it's going, or if you need my help, I guess, right? Let's see. Beautiful Flint says, Ken, Google says we have a lot of Knife River Flint in Alberta. I'm in British Columbia. Hey, there you go. Brennan says, geez, Louise. Yeah, I posted a video on Louise asking for or begging for a snack. She always shows up in the middle of the day begging for a snack. And then she just eats a little bit of it. That's it. Then comes back a couple hours later and eats another little bit. It's like nails on a chalkboard for some. Some sounds trigger weird reactions, styrofoam, etc., says Jesse. I guess so, yeah. So I'm wondering if I use a different microphone. Right now I'm in the process of buying equipment for this studio. So I'm upgrading my phones. That's part of the new equipment I'm buying. And then I'm going to be buying stuff for a backdrop. Is there any difference between flint and chert, says TJ's New Life? Yeah, flint forms in chalk and chert forms within limestone. That's the chemical difference. Now, the difference in knappability, it depends on the stone itself. I can't make a general statement on flint and chert as far as the knappability. Sometimes you can't tell a difference, and sometimes there's a big difference. But, flints also vary from other flints. It's not all good stuff. Not all flint knaps well. Oh, no. And not all chert knaps cruddy. Some of it knaps beautifully. As beautiful as it can get. Like some of the amoeba cherts, they knap beautifully. As an example, that's not the only type that naps nice. Am I saying that I enjoy the process of napping when I use some of that stuff? I enjoy the results of the napping. The process is always a pain in the butt. Hey, Tommy Taylor gave me $5. Thank you. Ralph Snyder's here. Hello, Patrick and the gang. Just posted a new video about my early flint napping points and musky fishing lures. Tomorrow is Michigan's musky fishing opener. Whoa, awesome. What else did I miss? Okay, Mike Tuff's boppers had to get directly from him. Yep. No longer available on flint napping traditions. Oh, I see. Maybe to reduce the cost. Ralph says, okay, I read that already. Let me see here. So, yeah, thanks, Tommy Taylor. Give me $5. Ralph says, what are you napping? This is Knife River Flint. Knife River Flint. It is a flint. I don't know if it forms within chalk because most of the cortex is gone from these nodules. They might be calling it flint when it's actually chert. Yeah. But it just sounds better when you say Knife River Flint instead of Knife River Chert. Maybe. I have a square edge kind of on this side. I don't want to use the bopper on it because last time I scooped a big scoop out. So let me switch. On the other side of this, I scooped out a big scoop out. I scooped out a big scoop out. Yeah. I don't know how to say it because I'm not articulate. I wonder if that bugs people too. I watched your musky. Okay, somebody's watching other people's videos here. Tommy Taylor says for cat, skunk, and bird food. Yeah, I always put out the food in the birds, the skunks, and the cats, and even now a gray fox is eating the cat food. Let's see. Mike Tufts is in the house. I missed his entrance. Jim Cooper's here. Hey, Patrick, got your package out today. Just emailed you the tracking number. Awesome. Thank you, Jim. Ralph says, thanks, Brendan and Alan. Let's see. Care packages. Ed says, don't go out and play much anymore. That's not good. Let's see. Let's see here. I'm reading the comments. I'm not going to reread the stuff that you guys are talking to each other about, right? It saves me time. At least I had a crown for a couple of seconds. Tommy had a crown for a couple of seconds. Mike Tufts got the crown now. And Gear Nasher's got the crown. Jeremy gave me $2. Thank you very much. Mike Tufts says, speaking of packages, I have one of Patrick's t-shirts coming in the mail. Awesome. Ed says, I play at home sometimes and grandkids join in. I'm assuming that's the musician talking. There's lots of musicians in the chat. Let's see. Knife River Flint is agatized bog. The white stuff is fossilized cattail and algae. So agatized bog minerals, that's what Knife River Flint is. Agatized? So it's an agate? Gear Nasher says, I want a shirt that says, I make doo-doo with what I got. Or make doo-doo with what you got. All right. Yeah. Not a problem. I can do that. Ferdo Joe or Bushy or Harold. He says, Ed, he's a collector and plays good. He has lots of guitars. Okay, talking about guitars. Jim says, you want me to tell you what's in the package, Patrick? In the chat? Sure. Go ahead. I don't need surprises. Yeah, some people will say, nope, don't tell me because I love surprises. Me, I don't need surprises. No. So you can tell me. Let's see. All right, so there's Mike Tufts' email. Jesse gave me $5. Thank you. Thanks, Jim, on the KRF info. That's interesting, says Ralph Snyder. Yeah, Mike Tufts gave out his email, so make sure you write it down, copy, paste, take a snapshot of the chat, whatever you got to do. Yeah, J Money gave me $5. Ferdo Joe, 4 confirmed vendors for Letchworth Knap-in. Gary, where are you? Yeah, where's Gary? He'll show up in 1 minute before the end of the live stream, right? Yeah. Some people get mixed up with Eastern time. They get mixed up with knowing what Eastern time is. Just Google 8 o'clock Eastern time is what? My time. What is it? My time. and Google will tell you. Just go. What is 4 p.m. Eastern in my time? As long as Google knows where you're at. Now, if Google doesn't know where you're at, you'll have to put in the city or something that's close by to you. There. Square edge removed. Voila. Did you see it? Was your angulometer turned on? You didn't turn on the angulometer? You didn't have it plugged in? Okay, charge up the angulometer, get it plugged in, get it zoomed in because I got a good view here, and get it calibrated so that when I start, it'll read out the proper angles. Yeah. And I said angles plural. Remember that. Jay says, Patrick, I'm back to Knapping, Vermont quartzite. Awesome. I think. Yeah. Vermont quartzite is not fun. If anyone wants a challenge, like I'm bored of the easy stuff like Knife River Flint, I want a challenge. Okay, I'll send you some Vermont quartzite. How's that? We got a ton of it here. I could go out and get it for free. No problem at all. Let's see. Cow Creek Knap-in in Southern Oregon is going on right now through Sunday. Cow Creek Knap-in in Oregon? Do I even have that? Hold on. I haven't heard of that one. All I got is the Glass Buttes Knap-in. I don't have no Cow Creek. Give me the information on Cow Creek, please, if you would be so kind. I have no idea what that is. Let me get a pen. All right, hold on. But put it in the chat. I'll take a snapshot. Just I got to get my pen so I don't forget to look at my picture of the chat. Okay, so Cow Creek Knap-in in Oregon. Let me get something to write on top of. What to do, right? That's what's called Cow Creek. Cow Creek Knap-in. Excuse me while I take a minute for station identification. All right, Cow Creek Knap-in, and it's in Oregon. Okay. And I'll wait for the rest of the information to come in. Hey, where did I miss? Okay, so it's now through Sunday. So today's the 6th, right? It's June 6th through 8th, I guess. Yeah. All right, so thank you. And I'll make sure that I try to look that up. I will look that up and try to get more information on that and post it in my Knap-in list. It's good that you guys are relaying the information. I didn't know about Cow Creek earlier either. Yeah, some of these are obscure Knap-ins that are difficult to find information on. Let's see. Jim says next to some what I'm calling high silica andesite, it looks like quartzite but has small crystals called phenocrystals, which aren't present in quartzite. Challenging material. I still got a nap to Tallahassee somebody sent me. Did you send me the Tallahassee, Jim? Jeremiah's here. All the quartzite I came across is a challenge. Haven't gotten around to cooking it yet. Well, then do it. Prairie Ghost Ken. I need to find a Knap-in around here in Vancouver. Well, good luck. But you're in Vancouver. You're near, let's see, is it Oregon and then Washington State? You're not that far from Glass Buttes and stuff, right? You can drive 6 hours or so. Night Owl drinks coffee from. Who is that? Am I going to have to delete Mr. Night Owl drinks coffee? I don't know. If you turn out to be a Fruit Loop, I'm going to delete you. Yeah. Mike Mason says, Mike's friends here. I saw Flintnapped heart once, and I thought it was the prettiest thing. Yeah. I've napped a couple of little hearts for my daughters. Ralph says, hello, Ed. Mike Tuss. Yeah, yep. Jim says, it's steppy and it can snap in half when it's thin, but I think indirect will do things I can't do with pressure and percussion. Yeah, that's usually the case. I found out. Indirect percussion allows you to be more accurate. You can concentrate force, much more force in a much more smaller area than with a billet. Jesse says, so if your boppers get too fuzzy, cleat them. Yeah, definitely. Grind them down. I don't peen or pound on the boppers to get them smooth. I grind them off because you've got embedded stone bits in there, not to mention other problems when you start to hammer the copper. It'll work, harden, and that kind of thing as well. Let's see. Jesse says, my copper paddle stopped grabbing or working as well. I was so confused. I had been hitting raw Georgetown and beat it to hell. It was all fuzzy. I cleaned the end with an abrader and voila, it worked. Yep, there you go. Jim says, no, this is the first package and you missed the first message. Okay. Mike tells, hello, Ralph. Jim Main is here. Hello. Did I miss everything? Yeah, you missed the technical difficulties. Yeah. Night Owl drinks coffee. Is not a Fruit Loop. Okay, good. Good to hear it. If you're offended, oh well. Jay says Fruit Loop, yeah. Someone else thinks it's funny besides me. Let's see. Jim says next is some flakes of that material I'm going to call glassy hematite. It's got a high enough iron content to stick to a magnet. Dang. Scott Lauer's here. He says, hey, chippers. Yes, yes. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Okay. Let's see. What else? Yeah, if you have information on Knap-ins, I was just clued into a Knap-in called Cow Creek Knap-in in Oregon. I need to get the details on that one. Now, you guys have probably already Googled it or whatever. Hopefully, it comes up on Google. Not all Knap-ins are advertised in that way, though, on the internet. How do you advertise on the internet? Well, usually if you stick it on Instagram or post it on YouTube or post it on Facebook, the internet will pick it up. Google will pick it up and direct you to that. But you can put it on your own website too, if you have one. Okay, talking about fishing. Is Kentucky Flintknapping supply still in business? I don't think it is, or it's intermittent. Yeah, I used to recommend Kentucky Flintworks, but I don't recommend it anymore. It seems that I'm trying to remember his name. It seems that he's not available now for regularly for business. I've never had a problem ordering from Kentucky Flintworks, but I've heard bad stories about people who never received their orders, so I don't recommend them anymore. So I would say he's not in business anymore. Yep. So I wouldn't take a chance. Just err on the side of caution and don't no longer order there. Helen says, Patrick, I posted all the information in a few messages here. Hopefully you see it. Okay, but posted what information? But I appreciate it, but I need to know what information. Because if I miss it and you say, you missed it, what did I miss? So I can find it. If you tell me the time that I missed it, like if there's a timestamp right next to each comment, what would make it easy for you is if you just type in the time. You don't even have to type anything else. I'll see your name and the time, and I'll hit the time, and I should be able to go back to that comment, or I'll just look back and scroll back until I reach that time. It's much easier if you tell me the time of the comment. If that makes it easier for you. I think it would be easier. I don't know. Um, Ross Wellman says he's getting here late. Uh-oh, Ross. Let's see. Good thing you missed the first part because I had a hard time uploading today. Let's see. I missed a bunch of the chat. Tommy Taylor says that was a nice piece of bulkhead you did, Scott. Oh yeah, I saw Scott's latest video on the bullhead flint. Very nice translucent point. Jim says I threw in a few flakes of blue spiderweb obsidian from Mexico and high quality opal from Australia called Binthalia. Binthalia opal, very soft but pretty colors, but delicate. It is an opal after all. Yeah, those are delicate. Brennan says, Frodo, there was a post recently on our Lithic Connection group on Facebook, and many people said they had dealings going on or just had recently. So he is back in business. Kentucky Flintworks is back in business. I still wouldn't chance it. Jesse says, OMG, Spiderweb. I can't wait to see that. Unboxing Rock Heaven. Yeah, I can't wait to see it either. Let's see. Bren says, I was down for forever, I guess. However, I guess he has gotten back. Oh, it was down for forever. Gotten back going or some help recently. I don't know. Jim says, I sent along a couple sets of Jasper flakes. The Kwaihi picture Jasper from Idaho and some polychrome Jasper from Madagascar. It's all raw. Wow. Nice. Thank you. Brennan says, I still have not ordered myself. Still talking about Kentucky Flintworks, I think. Ross says, had to take the wife out to face snap some fish. Oh, there you go. That'll do it. You'll miss the live stream if you have to take your wife out to eat. That's for sure. You don't want to rush when you take your wife out to eat. No. And sometimes, like Friday nights, you got to stand in line. Like when I was living in Austin, Texas, you would stand in line minimum 45 minutes and sometimes an hour and a half. You sit, you didn't have to stand the whole time, but you can. They have plenty of seating. And if you can't find a regular seat, you can sit on the sidewalk. Yeah. And stare at the landscape stones. Some of them are pretty good for napping. In Central Texas, Houston, San Antonio, Austin, those areas, you can find nappable stones in the landscape stones of restaurants, hotels, gas stations, etc. But don't tell anyone that I told you to grab any of that stuff because I'm not recommending that you grab any of it. I'm just telling you that it's there. So they had to get it from somewhere. So you look at the landscape supply yards. Yeah. Okay. All right. Remember, I told you to look at the landscape supply yards. Yeah, autocorrect is killing people tonight for sure. Yeah, Ross. Yeah. Well, luckily, no one has gotten their comments deleted by YouTube tonight, so at least the autocorrect is not making people's comments look bad. Cow Creek Knap-in. Yeah, give me some information on that one, please. Jim says some challenges and some grade A material. For starters, the pastelite we have talked about here, some raw, some high quality raw, and I only had one piece of heat treat left, but I threw it in. Okay, thanks. Thank you very much. Scott Lauer says, 2 crazy pieces of bullhead today, Tommy. Such odd material, man. I believe it. Let's see. Where did I miss? I missed a bunch. Let's see. We can't see timestamps, Patrick. You can't see the time next to your comments. Who else cannot see the time? Every comment has a timestamp on it, just like a regular comment on YouTube. Right? If you can't see the timestamp, something's wrong with your YouTube. Ed says, you ever nap fiber optics? Very soft and brittle. Yeah, I've napped fiber optic glass. Yeah. It naps like regular glass, or it naps like fusible glass, which is a little more fragile. Yeah. Fusible glass is different from bottle glass. Fusible glass naps like an opal. It's very delicate and it is fragile, but it can be napped. And fiber optics, it didn't seem to me to be like fusible glass, exactly like it, but it's similar. Mike says, Mike's friend again died. Okay, opal needs to be heat treated. No, opal does not need to be heat treated to be napped. Okay. Um, let's see. All right, I'm trying to catch up here. Mike says, Ed, are you napping the internet wires? Ralph says, good luck, Ralph. Subscribe to your channel. Looks good. All right. Rock Bender is here. I haven't seen you before. I'm so tempted to go to that Knap-in. I'm up by Salem, Oregon. Yeah, but we don't have the information on it unless I missed it. Pat, if you don't like it, I'll release the hounds. Okay, release the hounds. We got 50 people watching and only 24 likes. Jim says, lastly, I sent some flakes of high-grade petrified wood, high-quality raw, and a chunk of raw Montana moss agate. Awesome. I'm still trying to nap this piece of Knife River flint. I've got the biface. This is the first stage biface. What I call a first stage. What I call a first stage might not be what you call a first stage. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Jim says, lastly, I sent. Okay, I read that one. Jimmy Potts is here. Hey, I haven't seen you in a while. Right? Me too, Rockbender, but I've already planned on going to Stick and Sage Tradbow shoot in Sisters this weekend. Stick and Sage Tradbow. Okay, does that have a Knap-in? Jeremy says, is anyone here from Kentucky? I think we got at least one guy in the house that, if not from Kentucky, lives nearby. Jim says, Mike Mason, no opal will blow up if it's heat treated. It's got a high water content, and opal is always on the highly flakeable side, as is. Yes, it is. I know from experience. Yeah. I tried to only talk from experience. Yeah. Now, my experiences are not all that great. As you can see, I have a lot of bad luck. So just be warned, I have bad luck with my experiences, but I do have a bunch of experiences with napping. Mm-hmm. Rockbender says, I said they quit doing the Elahi flat snap-in down there. They quit doing it. Okay, I need to pay more attention to what I'm reading. Brendan says, I live in South Indiana, right across the river. Did I read that right? Ask for corn. Jared's here. Ha, preach. Story of my life. 30-minute wait. 30 minutes of landscaping privateering. Yeah. I don't want to mention what we're talking about earlier because, I'll get blamed for all this restaurant rock and stuff missing. Cow Creek Knap-in June 2 through 8th, 2025. Yeah, but where's Cow Creek Knap-in? I know it's Oregon. No timestamp. Tommy Taylor doesn't see a timestamp either. Only me as live streamer can see the timestamp. Well, that stinks. That really stinks. Bob M. Photo. Hello. Timestamps can be turned on or off in the settings. Hey, there you go. Yeah, where's Red Eyed Patriot? He usually knows how to look for these things and find them on YouTube. I have no idea where to put this timestamps on or off. Jeremiah says no timestamp, but apparently you can go to the settings and get the timestamps put on there. Scott Lauer, same thing, no timestamp. Viewers can't see live timestamps. Only the streamer sees the timestamp, says Alan Cole. Yeah, but is it in the settings? Hit the like button, Keith. Give me the keys to the gator pit, says Ralph. Okay, so no one sees any timestamps. That stinks. Same with Bill Taylor. Bob M. Photo says viewers can turn on timestamps in the options. There you go. Let's see if that works. Comfort Center Home Furnishings. Message retracted. Bill Kenny, I got some Elevate sent. It's tough as hell. What do you think I should treat? What do you think I should treat it? There are so many beautiful colors, but it's eating the piss out of my tools. Oh, what do you think? Should I treat it? Yeah, heat treat it, but don't heat treat all of it. Just heat treat some flakes. Even if you have 3 flakes in a big old gigantic turkey roaster or a big old gigantic oven, just 3 flakes so you don't mess it up. Heat treat it 200 degrees for 24 hours and then ramp up the heat 50 degrees every 30 minutes until you reach 400 degrees. Leave it at 400 degrees for 4 hours. Turn it off. Turn the heat totally off, but don't open the oven until 12 hours later. Okay. Aaron Wilson, hello, hello. I got your package. Brian Olson's here. Pat, I have a bunch of Aurora Borealis obsidian if you want. Oh, dang. 3 to 4 inch stuff is perfect. Yes, yes, thank you. I can use that. I've got a friend of mine that's dying for different kinds of obsidian sample points. Like, I'll just nap him a quick point. He just wants a little quick point of these different things. It's something I'm doing on the side, okay? I know I shouldn't do anything on the side anymore. But yeah, I could use it. Brennan says, I want to see you nap a piece or two of that laurel I sent you, Patrick. Yeah, I still got to heat treat that stuff. If you think it's interesting, I'll send some more soon. Yeah, I got to get my heat treat set up. I'm going to get the heat treat set up soon. I will definitely do that because the electricity bill is very low right now. So it doesn't matter if I add a little bit more to the cost of electricity to run my heat treat. Yes, so Brian Olson, please send me more of that Aurora Borealis. And anything else that has some interesting colors. Yeah, feel free to do that. Bill Kenny says, from Tennessee here. Yeah, someone asked about Kentucky earlier. So mention where you are if you're in Kentucky. Jim says, also I have news. We adopted a dog yesterday, a red Alaskan Husky. Awesome. Bren says, plus I heat treat now, and what I sent you was raw. Okay. Jimmy Pot says, no Knap-in at Stick and Sage Shoot. Okay, so that's good to know. No Knap-in at that archery shoot. Tommy Taylor says, Alan, you might have to do a wellness check on Sal. He's been missing the live streams. Yeah. What happened to Sal? Missing in action, MIA, or lurking. Oh, that was a smooth move. We used to say, smooth move, X-Lex. All right. Let's see. I'm sad they stopped doing the Ilahi Flats Knap-in, says Rockbender. Yeah, I'm sad too. I don't get to write it down. Okay, Cow Creek Knap-in is in Glendale, Oregon, says Rockbender. Okay, Glendale, Oregon. Do I have my. Yeah, I just spilled my drink. It's very diluted coffee on my pen. So hopefully I'm not going to be writing with coffee and ink. All right, so where is it? Glendale, Oregon. We're getting closer to the full amount of information I need. I need the. See, when I do a Knap-in, this is what I have on my. Like, I'll just pick the first one on my list. See, on the top line is what the Knap-in is called, and then the physical address so people can type it in and get it on their GPS, including the zip code, and then at least one phone number or an email for a contact or to get more information. Okay, and then the dates, and whether it's one time during the year or two times during the year or whatever. Some Knap-ins are monthly, believe it or not. Some Knap-ins are twice a year. Some Knap-ins are only once a year. Okay, so I need the name of the Knap-in, the physical address, complete physical address, which means the name of the establishment, if it's an establishment, the street number, the street name, the lot number, if there's a lot, specify if it's a park, okay, if it's a public park, that helps. And then the city, the state, and the zip code, everything. Because if we don't have everything, there are people that wander around for hours looking for Knap-ins. How do I know this? I don't know. So they wander around for hours and they end up camping somewhere expensive, and then they wander around for hours the next day looking for the Knap-in. I've had people show up in Texas at the Knap-in on Sunday when it's winding down with 10 minutes left of the Knap-in and say, I've been searching for you guys all weekend. And all you guys are gone except you, Patrick, and a couple other guys. I wish I had known that it was under this pavilion in this park and that kind of thing so I could zoom in on it with my GPS. Okay, so the more information we have on these Knap-ins, the better. Believe it or not, some people will look for days and days and days. They won't just say, well, I only have incomplete information, so I'm not even going to try. No, they'll go with just the name of it and the city, and they'll wander around for days. I don't think it's right for us not to give them the full information. Okay. All right. So what happened at that story? Well, the guy sat down and we stayed a little bit longer than we normally would. So it worked out okay in that instance. Yeah. Let's see. Look for 3 vertical dots and click on it. There is an option to turn on the timestamps, says Bob. Jeremiah, I see it now. It's in the settings at the top of the chat. There you go. Tommy Taylor says, when I go back to watch a live stream that I miss, like Wednesday, I want to show the comments. It won't show the comments either. Yeah, you have to actually go into the live stream, like move the red dot to the middle of the live stream where comments have appeared, and it should bring up comments. Now, YouTube's options for me have changed. I have to click on the option for live chat replay, but it has a third option now that just says live chat reference or something. I have to look and see what effect that has because I didn't check the option where it has live chat replay on this one because I forgot. I was trying to do too many things at once. You might not be able to see the live chat replay on this particular live chat, but on previous ones, I have tried to click on the live chat replay on every single live stream before I upload the live stream or before I go live. You may have hit a video where I forgot to hit that particular button and you don't see it yet. But you should be able to see it on Wednesday. Fertile Joe says, I don't see the settings. Ed Gould says it never is. Yeah, but Ed, your equipment is always not working anyway. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Okay. Joe Barry is here. Joe, let me write that down. Thank you. 2025. Okay, 2025. Cow Creek, Knap-in. What is 2025? Okay, that's the year. That's not the address. I need the physical address. Glendale. Yeah. I need the. Okay, I got Glendale, Oregon. I need the zip code. I need a physical address, and I need a contact number or an email contact, and then we're all set on the Cow Creek Knap-in, so people can drive there tomorrow. Cameron Parks says hello. Hey, I'm a little bit late on looking at the chat. I'm 8 minutes behind, so I'm sorry. I apologize if I am missing a bunch of this chat. I need to try to catch up here. Let's see. Ellen Cole says, Bob, I have no option on my phone to show timestamps. What phone do you have? Let's see. Where's Sal? Yeah, Sal's not in the house tonight, looks like. Brent says, he put a nice Pedernales video earlier. I love Sal's vids. I got to see that Pedernales vid. Alan Cole says, Sal is buying swim trunks for his son right now. Really? Let's see. Jim says, flake punch a hole in your lip, Patrick? Flake punch a hole in your lip? No. What does that mean? What does it mean? Cameron Parks is in Ohio. Okay. Mike Tuff says, I don't have any option either for a timestamp. The only option I had was the filtered out the spam messages. Everyone's got a different version of YouTube or something. Mike Tuff says, I don't even know why I got a dunce cap beside my name. A dunce cap? No. R. Snyder says, Michigan. He's in Michigan. Yes. Bren says, it may have been Amoeba Church. Close enough. I'm missing the references here. Tommy Taylor says he's in Tennessee. Ralph says Michigan's a beautiful place until college football season. Let's see. Alan says, so painful to watch Patrick explain what he needs for the Knap-in, and YouTube hides websites, addresses, and phone numbers. I sent you a text with it all, bud. So YouTube hides addresses and phone numbers. Sent you a text. Okay, sent me a text. I can't see it because my phone is being used as the camera for this live stream. Okay, but thank you. I need to write that down. See text from Alan. Cool. Okay. See text from Alan Cole. So there you go. Now I know. Send me messages by text, but you go, I don't have your text phone number. Just send me email with the info, please. You don't have to. You're not obligated. But if you send it, the easiest way is, now that I know, is don't type it in the comment section because it'll get deleted or something. Type unless you space out the numbers. Maybe you can space them out, but number space, number space, number space. Anyway, you can find a way to get around or work around the YouTube sanctions or censoring. Anyway, the easiest way is to send me an email or text, but only certain people have my text number. Usually, you'll get my text number if we've communicated because of the auction, that kind of thing. All right. So Bob says, "Yeah, I'm looking at my phone now, and I don't see any timestamp settings. I have the option on PC though." Okay, so there you go. So the phone YouTube is different than the PC YouTube. Yeah, that makes sense. Um, mm, 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 mm. Okay, you're talking about a hat now. I don't know. Let's see, Mike, I like both teams, but okay, there we go. I'm gonna skip over any sports references so I can try to catch up here. Joe Barry says 30704 Cow Creek Road. 30704. Okay, put my equipment back on. Let's see. All right. Okay, 30704. 30704. Cow Creek Road. Yep. I think I can get the rest of the information as far as the address. I can get zip code from that. But I don't have a contact name, number, or email. See, if you give me the name of the guy from Facebook, I can look it up that way. Look up the guy that way. Or you give me an email, but put spaces in there when you put it in the comments section so the YouTube doesn't boot it out. Eventually, I'll get back to napping this Knife River Flint. I'm also dealing with phlegm. Let's see. Cameron Park says, "No problem, brother. Just here to watch a master in the working." Yeah, I haven't napped very much though. That's the thing. If the flake did not put an extra hole in your lip, then how did the coffee spill? Says Jim. You want to know how it spilled? It was to the top, right, or almost to the top, and then I I I brought it to my face really fast and stopped it really fast, and some of it jumped out before I was able to drink any, or just before I took a sip, a lot of it popped right out. Jesse says, Patrick, what an awesome thing to do to keep tabs on all those Knap-ins for us. Well, I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you appreciate that because uh, I've seen the frustration. Like me, I was frustrated for years trying to get information on Knap-ins. And then I finally said, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to spend hours and hours and hours looking up Knap-ins. Every time I update the Knap-in list, well, the first time I did the Knap-in list, it took me 2 8-hour days to generate the first list, which was half of what I got now. And then subsequent updates are about 8 hours apiece. And I try to update it once every few months now. So I actually spend the entire day looking up Knap-ins, double checking addresses, making sure these things are not canceled or whatever, looking at communications within groups, because sometimes you only see a Knap-in within a group of nappers. They'll say, uh, I'm a member of different groups on YouTube, and they'll say something like, there's a Knap-in at such and such. And it won't show up all through the internet. It only shows up on Facebook if you type in Knap-in and stuff. It'll direct you to different references that have the word Knap-in, and sometimes it's only within a group that they're talking about it. The latest one, anyway. Some groups put out flyers, some of them don't. The best Knap-ins, as far as advertising goes, they have a flyer. They put it on a separate website by itself, a flyer, a photo of the flyer, and then they announce it with text in the website. and the website is not complicated. And the Knap-in is not buried somewhere deep into some other website. Okay. So I've looked and looked and looked because I was for years frustrated about trying to find Knap-ins, and I would ask at Knap-ins, "When's the next Knap-in?" And someone says, "Oh, go ask him over there. He goes to all the Knap-ins." And I said, "Okay, I'll go over there." I got my pencil, I got my paper, and I go over. Okay, where's the next Knap-in? He goes, "I think the next one's in Alabama." Yeah, but where? Um, Not sure where, but it's called blah blah blah. It's a blah 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 Knap-in. Okay, but if I look up blah 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 Knap-in, it might not be on the internet. Yeah, well, that's how I know it. Okay, where's the next one? I'm not sure exactly. Maybe it's in a month after that. I got to look at my schedule, and I'm like, okay. And he goes, well, not now. Okay, so all right, thanks. I don't want to bug you and try to get all the information on you right now, but I wish someone had sat down like him in the beginning and said, okay, hold on, I'll get my notes. We'll spend 45 minutes here going over each and every Knap-in that I go to. That's what I wish would have happened, but it never happened. It was like, oh yeah, the next Knap-in is blah 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 blah. Yeah, but where? It's in Tennessee. Okay, but where in Tennessee? I think it's either Valley Dale or Apple Tree Dale or something Dale in Tennessee. But how do you know how to get there? It's already plugged in my GPS. You know, I depend on my GPS. I just hit the search and then it comes up. I mean, I hit the history. Okay, and then never go in. Okay, here's the history on my phone. Can you? You know, we'll just take a few minutes and you'll be able to write them all down. They never did that. It drove me nuts. I almost lost my faith in humanity. Yeah. Anyway, I did it because I know the frustration and I don't want you guys to go through that. Hey, look at that. Leavenworth Knap-ins. Okay, let me see. Okay, let me see here. Where did I miss? Okay, here. I have some crazy hats, says Ralph. One is a turtle hat. A turtle hat. I can pull on the tail and the head and legs wiggle. So funny. Never seen one like that. I think it's a juniper lea putting in a. Brian Olson says, I think it's Juniper Leia putting on that Cow Creek. Okay, so let me check that out. Anyway, I think I got a message from Alan Cole. Juniper Leia, like Princess Leia? Anyway, we'll see. Jeremy says, sorry, Leavenworth, Indiana, Knap-in, Leavenworth, Indiana, June. Okay, that one's coming up. Eric Morris is the contact. Okay, so let me see if I have Leavenworth, Indiana, Knap-in. I might already have that one in my list. Indiana. Let me see. The abbreviation is IN for Indiana. Okay, I do have like two or three Knap-ins in Indiana. All right, let me see. I only got two. Leavenworth. Okay, I've got two that are in Leavenworth. Okay. They're both by. Let's see. They're both sponsored by Eric Rocks. Eric Morris. Okay, Eric Morris. Two R's and one S. Yeah. June 18, 19, and 20th. Yeah, I don't have that one yet. Right. So this is the one that I have. Let's see. 498 State Road. I don't have that one. Let me see. All I've got is coordinates. So it's good to know. So these are both at Leavenworth State Park, right? Let me see. I can't see what I'm putting up. So Leavenworth Roadside Park. I've got coordinates. If that's the physical address, that's awesome. Okay, so let me write that down. 498 East State Road 62. 498 East State Road State. I write slow because I want to be able to read what I wrote. 62. Leavenworth, Indiana. Yeah. June 18th through 20th, 2025. Okay. For those of you who can't see this chat, 4098 East State Road 62, June 18th through 20th, 2025. Thank you very much. That's awesome. Then the contact number, if you were quick, it's on here. And YouTube can't censor this. You take a screenshot, there's the contact number for Eric, I suppose. Okay. And there's coordinates on this one. If I don't have my fingers in the way. 38 degrees, 11 feet, 44 inches north, 86 degrees, 20 feet, 8 inches west. Okay. There was one in March. So I guess there's another one in June. Yeah. I guess that's why I have two. But I thought there was something else in Indiana. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And believe it or not, when I do these lists, sometimes I have to double check and triple check because I'll put the Knap-in in the wrong slot. And I'll go, didn't I just do a Knap-in for Arkansas? Why isn't there any Knap-ins in the Arkansas slot? And I'll have to look through the whole list. And I ended up putting the Arkansas over there, like with the Wisconsin or something. Yeah, spend an extra 15, 20 minutes looking for the place where I didn't put it in there right. And then I'm thinking to myself, that means I got to go through the whole thing and make sure every state is in the right, every card is in the right state spot. Eric sells lots of rocks, says Ferdo Joe. Good. We need rock sellers. When's he going to start napping, says Brian Olson. Probably never. You missed the first part where I was napping. I'm going to have to skip reading the chat. Oh, and I just found out that if someone just reads the chat and just chats with the people who are commenting, that's called a Bantz live stream. Bantz, B-A-N-T-Z. So it is a thing. You can just do a live stream with nothing but talking to the people who are chatting. That's called a Bantz live stream. Okay. So yeah, I already started napping earlier, so you guys should have your angelometers already calibrated and set up. Okay. Make sure that you get the angelometer set up to read the indirect percussion stick and the workpiece. Okay. Make sure. Because just because you seem to get the right angle between these two, you still don't know the angle of that. Right? And once you get the angles right, you'll be able to be an excellent napper. Right? No? Why not? That's what you wanted. You wanted the angles. It doesn't improve your napping at all. That's funny. It does improve the angle. The angle does improve it, so shut up. I know it does. Sometimes you get the eureka moment and you go, oh, I was holding it like this and hitting it every time like that. And I'm saying, I would say to myself, why would you do that? You know it's not going to work if you hit it that steep. Why would you do that? Just start adjusting in other ways. Start experimenting with it. Some guys are going. They set up so everything's straight, in line, and then they hit it, and then it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. But why would you continue to hold it like that when it clearly is not doing it? You got to move it a little bit. Yeah, but you said doing it over and over and over until you get a different result. Yeah, but that's the general statement. Got to tweak it a little bit. Tweak it, like I've been saying. It's the small tweaks that make all the difference. Yeah. And some people say, dang it, I didn't know you were hitting that hard. What have I been saying all this time? It's a sweat stage because I got to hit it harder as it gets thinner. Oh, that's what that meant? Oh, okay. Never mind. I didn't know that when you say hit harder, that means you were hitting harder. Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know what you meant by hitting harder. Yeah. Yeah. It's so funny. I make fun, right? I hope I don't offend anybody. I hope I don't offend anybody too badly. I know that I do. I hope I don't offend anybody too badly. I hope I don't offend people too badly by I'm not looking at the chat so I can Flintknap. This is Knife River Flint, which is a good material, but it can be inconsistent. So it doesn't always cooperate. Yeah. And when you're napping, if you're new, you're not going to know what is good chert or what is good flint because you're brand new. You don't know what to look for. Or you don't know if it's you or the stone that's messing up. It's probably you. But you never know. You could be an excellent learner and you're working with stone that does not cooperate. So no matter what you're doing, it's not working because it doesn't work with anybody. Not even an experienced napper can have good results with what you're working with. If that's the case, your learning curve is going to be non-existent. You're not going to be able to learn, except learning that you can't do it. I learned that I can't do it. That's what I learned. Why aren't you napping, buddy? I'm just here to watch because I learned that I can't do it. What were you napping? Oh, I was napping, like toilet tanks and quartzite and, rocks I find just anywhere. I think it was limestone. There you go. Why are you napping that stuff? Because it's free, dude. Bottle bottoms are free, and they're 1,000 times better than that kind of stuff. Don't be napping toilet tanks. If you have bottle bottoms, don't be napping toilet tanks or what we call Johnstone. If you have the ability to go to a Knap-in and get free flakes, don't be napping quartzite. If you have friends like in the comments section that'll send you some rocks, don't be napping stuff that is almost impossible to generate a flake from. Yeah. Just letting you know. You're going to be miserable. And some guys quit just because of the misery. Yeah. And they think they can't do it. When in reality, all it is they just need stone that's cooperative so they can learn to do it. Yeah. Yeah, but I get tired of glass. It's so boring. It only gets boring if you do it a lot. And believe me, if you do it a lot, you will have some experience, and you'll at least know the basics. And yeah, okay, it is boring to always nap glass, but do it anyway. Yeah. Just do it. Take a break. Or get different colored glass. Different colors. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I have to focus here because I'm trying to do these good flakes like that. If I don't focus, they don't look good. Dang it, I broke my abrader. Mm-hmm. How much time we got left? We got about 27 minutes. It's not enough to finish this, especially if I do that. See that big old step fracture into the edge? I've been doing this 15 years and I still get those step fractures near the edge. See that? You witnessed it. I still get those. Why is it that I get those? Because the little subtle difference makes all the difference. I thought I was doing it right. Apparently not. Just a subtle change in the way I hit it. And there it goes. Step fracture. Too much in force. Yep. Mm-hmm. There's in force and down force. If there's too much of one or the other, or too much of both, it's not going to work right. It can't be too much force or too little force. So I had to damage control that step fracture out of there. And you don't see it from that view that I'm using right now. You'll see it in the first person view if you watch my videos. Not on this particular piece, but you know what I mean. If you want to know how I'm doing it, you watch my other videos where there's a first person view and you're able to see up close. This helps people because they can see how hard I'm hitting. And a lot of people say, I didn't realize how hard you're hitting, even though you say you hit really hard. Because they don't have a frame of reference. They don't know what really hard hitting is. And it's true, there's just a subtle difference between hitting really hard and hitting way too hard. Subtle difference. Okay, I'm trying. I gotta thin this way down to get that out of there. Still haven't gotten it all out. See, I'm still working on trying to get the remnants of that step fracture out of there. Is that a remnant or is that just something on top of the step fracture that was there? That's a little remnant. I don't know why it's still there. Yeah, I've been hitting it from different angles. I tried to sneak in behind it. I tried to direct attack it. Maybe that's remnants from a direct attack. I tried from the other side to go across. So I'm trying all different ways to get through that. And it just gets thinner and thinner. And sometimes it installs a curve. Now, there could be a ton of comments in the chat, but for me, the chat has not moved at all. It just stayed. The last timestamp I have is 9:17, 20 minutes ago. The chat has not moved for me. So when I go look at the chat right now, I've got to hit the down button. A lot of times when I hit that down button, it just goes all the way to the end. So then I got to sneak all the way back. Let's see. I'm going to take a little break from this because it's starting to get frustrating. This side has napped well. But this side, I messed it up. This is also napping well, but I messed it up because of a slight variation in the in-force. And it could install a curve. So let me just take a little break before I get back to it. That way I can start breathing properly. I notice I hold my breath when I nap. Let's see. Mike Mason's here. It's just the sausage fest now. Howdy, fellas. Rock Bender says Puget Sound nappers have a list of West Coast nap-ins. Yeah, but it's not always up to date on the West Coast nappers. On Puget Sound, nappers does have a good list, but it's not always up to date. Ahab the Fisherman says, hello. Sorry I'm late checking the chat. I missed your entrance. Yeah, 20 minutes ago. Yeah, I'm behind on the chat 20 minutes. Okay, let me try to catch up. Let's see here. Oops, it went all the way to the end. Let me start at the end in that case. Fertile Joe says, Ralph Snyder, I got a hold of some of his keepers. Wow, they were awesome. Okay, maybe I shouldn't do that because I don't know what he's talking about. Okay. Tommy Taylor says, oh, heck, I'm number first time ever. You're number one, the first time ever on the crown. Yep, Tommy Taylor's got the crown, the number one crown. Jay says, Jesse, you need to try to get to Letchworth Knap-in. Oh, yes. I need to try to get to Letchworth Knap-in. Okay. Everyone's talking to each other, which is great. Takes a little bit of pressure off of me. Scott says, Pat, another napper came to see me. Now we're 3 over here. Awesome. Fantastic. Jimmy says, this is the first year of Cow Creek Knap-in. Oh, I see. That's good to know. Yep. No wonder I couldn't find it before. Bill Hansen says, are there any Knap-ins in Colorado? Now, that's a running joke on the channel. Okay. I'm going to laugh at that, but I don't want to offend you. And if you did not know that that's a running joke, I always say, people ask me, is there any Knap-ins in Colorado? And I say, no. To quit asking me about Knap-ins in Colorado. You're like number 867. That's asked me that this year. And it's not even June or it's not even July. There's no Knap-ins in Colorado. Okay. Scott, that celebration was awesome except for the truck attack. All right, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Okay. I'm getting through the chat quickly now because you. Let's see here. Eric will be at Letchworth. That's good to know. Eric's rocks. Jeremy says more than one way to fight censorship. Yes. Make sure you know the workarounds so you can get around censorship in the comment section. If the Fruit Loops can figure that out, everyone else should be able to figure that out. Right. The next UK Knap-in is going to be packed wall to wall with the 3 of us, says Scott. Yeah. Alan Cole says, I'm getting ready to face snap a 16-ounce chuck eye steak. Nice. I've already eaten my dinner. I ate way too much. I said I'm going to splurge today and get some seafood salad. So I went to the store. I was looking for tuna salad and seafood salad to get some fish in my diet, and not because it's Fish Friday, although it's a good idea. So I bought some seafood salad. I didn't find any tuna salad, so I got upset. So I just bought a bunch of seafood salad. I walked out and I went, you know what? This is full of mayonnaise. More than the tuna salad. Anyway, okay. I don't care. So I ate it all. It was like a pound of seafood salad. It had like diced celery and it had some cabbage or something in it. It didn't have any pickles or anything, but it had seafood, different types of fish in it. Uh, and it had little baby shrimps, little bitty shrimp. Anyway, mayonnaise makes me feel sick. So I don't have an appetite after that. And this was like, what is it? Almost 10. That was like 5 hours ago and I'm still feeling it. Why does mayonnaise make me sick? Because it has sugar and oil, vegetable oil. Yeah. I can't eat sugar anymore. And vegetable oils mess me up too. I don't know what it is. It's the high carbohydrate content probably. Or it changes into carbohydrate, it changes into something really fast that spikes my blood sugar or whatever. I don't know. Something happens. All right, what do we got? What got me on that subject? Oh yeah, the chuck-eyed steak. That's what I'd like to have next time. I did enjoy that seafood salad, though. I gotta admit. Um, let's see. Yeah, Bren says there's a lithic, Rock Connection Lithic and Knapping Resources as a group name on Facebook, right? Or is it Instagram? I can't remember. Let's see. Mm-hmm. Ralph Snyder says Stinky and Louise will be at the Letchworth Knap-in. No, I am not going to bring any pets, or I'm not going to make those two my pets and bring them somewhere. No. Uh, yeah. Besides, I haven't named anybody Stinky. There's Jumpy, there's Muddy, there's Mangy or Mangy Tail. The only one that has mange, all of them have recovered from their winter mange. There's only one that still has mange, and that it's on her tail. I think it's a female. She's really, really fat. I don't know if she's going to have babies or what. Anyway, I call that one Mangy Tail, but since she's the only one, she'll be called Mangy from now on. So I got Jumpy, Muddy, and Mangy. And then there's Scary. He's almost all black, hardly any white markings. So there was one day I got really close by accident to Scary because I couldn't see him. But they make the sound, and they make a sound when you get too close. So that was lucky I didn't get sprayed by Scary. All right. And then there is Mangy Tails, or Mangy's twin sister. I don't know what to call that one. And there's a few more, but I don't see them that often. So how many is that? There's like 5 of them that I see quite often. Just so you know. And then Louise, who's Louise? It's the cat who started everything because she begs for snacks. So I put the cat food out. Now everyone's wanting cat food. They go, "It's not fair that Louise gets the cat food. Look, it's not fair. We're hungry. We're all hungry. Come on, please. I mean, you gotta do it. You do it for the dumb cat. I mean, not that she's dumb." I can just hear, I have an imagination. Okay, sorry. Hey, look at that. Got Veteran Iron and Outdoors is here. If someone gets offended by you, they needed it. Hey, good attitude. I like that attitude. I like it. Let's see. Yeah, steaks sound pretty good right now. Let's see things. Tommy Taylor says they keep trying to get me to come back, but I keep passing on the invite. Okay, who are we talking about? The microwave kiln thing, easy to melt down good glass into little refined slabs in the microwave. So, Brandon, you've tried the microwave kiln? Awesome. I still need to do that too. Although I bought a separate microwave and a kiln, it's a little ceramic pot with a lid for that purpose, and I still haven't used it. Let's see. Let's see. Where am I? Fertile Joe says, Ralph Snyder, I'll try to get one. I think Paleo Man 52 did one about 10 years ago. All right. Not sure what that was about. Ralph Snyder says that microwave kiln for a glass sounds cool. Yes, yes. They're very cool. I just need to get mine up and running. Richard Nunley's here. Good evening. Good evening. I'm late on catching up with the chat. Sorry about that. Mike Mason says Patrick picks on me. It's the only thing that chaps woodpecker lips. Scott says some of Pat's best words. It might not be your napping, but the bad material you're napping that won't allow good work is so true. Yeah. But you learn it after years and years of suffering. Mike says, Scott, I love that the consideration of nature versus nurture as well. Ralph says, Paleo Man 52 has some cool videos, especially the Onondaga chert videos and keeper frames. Yes, yes. Carson Wallace is here. I just got here. You got here 10 minutes ago. I'm sorry. I'm trying to catch up to the current chat. I'm a little bit behind because I was napping on this. This is Knife River Flint. It does have translucency, but I can't show it very easily. Yes, I can. See the translucency? It's got the fossils in it. It's got fossils. But you can't see. It's not thin enough yet. Okay. Mike Mason says, I seem to have fallen behind, so I ain't even here yet. Crappy weather. I've been posting 2 times everything I say. Oh, dang. So Paleo Man 52's Onondaga chert keeper case is super cool. Yes, it is. Rockbender says, be the one to start a Knap-in in Colorado. Yeah, if you're in Colorado and you ask everybody and their sister and cousin about Knap-ins in Colorado and there still isn't any, start one and then tell me about it. And then you'll get people to go. Because, I'll make the Knap-in famous. I'll put it in the channel. Yeah. And then your Knap-in will be famous. Cross fingers, maybe not. Well, sometimes there's good results. Yeah. Jeff Jin says, hello, Patrick. Hello, Jeff. How's it going? Good to see you. Mike Mason says, I'll give you all a tip from the old Runs with Skunks here. If you need to turn a skunk, it's hawk or owl calls. Only birds of prey with poor sense of smell hunt them. Yeah. With me, if I want to scare the skunks away, I just walk on my gravel sidewalk. They hate that. Normally, if I don't want to spook the skunks, I won't walk on my gravel. But if they hear me crunch, 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 crunch toward them on the gravel, they scat. They run. And they actually run. But they look like little bouncing little fur balls when they run. They're so funny. But it's still... The skunks will run from you if you make odd noises, not just the bird calls. Hey, Saskatchewan Adventures is here. Lonely Saskatchewan Napper here. Sure wish we had knapsack-ins up here. Are there any in North Dakota or Montana? Yeah, besides there's some other guy. I thought there was somebody else near you. Or was that Vancouver? Let me look. I will see if there's Knap-ins in Dakota or Montana. There's some in North Dakota. Or at least one. Let me make sure I got... There's one in Minnesota. North Carolina. I thought there was one in North Dakota. No? There's one in No, that's not it. I don't see one in North Dakota. Montana, under the M's. Just Minnesota. That's the furthest north of that, in that area that I can see. It's not nearby, but it's, it's north. It's near Canada. But you're in Saskatchewan? Yeah, but there's one in Minnesota. I don't know how close it is to the border. Is Minnesota near the border? I think it is. Or on the border with Canada. Let's see. It's one coming up in July. Harry Mosquito Trading Company, Harry Mosquito Primitive Arts Gathering in Knap-in. It's in Malacca, Minnesota, right? 21287 US Highway 169, Malacca, Minnesota 56353. There's the contact number. July 12th through 13th, 2025. Okay, you could take a screenshot. Right? Is there anything else near the Canadian border? I'm looking. Wisconsin? So Minnesota, I just looked up Minnesota, right? Wisconsin, I do think that one is on the border with Canada. There's a bunch in Wisconsin. The one might be reasonably close to you. Okay, so just let me know. I'll just quickly put these up. Annual Sparta Eagles Club rendezvous in Knap-in in Sparta, Wisconsin. Then we have one that's Stoughton, Wisconsin, the town of Dunn Tornado Shelter, 4 Lakes, Knap-in. Okay, I don't know when the date is on that one. May 15th through 18th. You missed the one here. There's one in the fall, August 21st through 24th in Sparta, Wisconsin. And the last but not least, Wisconsin, Alma Center, Wisconsin Alma Center is the city. It's the annual Copper Pound Knap-in. I don't know the date on 2025, but it's been in October for like 4 years now. Okay, so I think that would be the closest that I can see to you. Yeah, I feel bad for the guys in Canada because there are no nappers up there that are close to each other. It appears. All right. Great live stream, says Alan Cole. We got 5 minutes left. Why are you saying bye so early? Saskatchewan Adventure says, thanks, Patrick. Minnesota would be the closest. All righty. Okay. Yeah, we'll see you later, Alan. Take care. Let's see. Hey, I'm all caught up with the chat. Let's see. JF Baird, hello, everybody. Are you doing that as a joke to say hello in the last 5 minutes of the live stream? Let's see. Tommy Taylor says his steak must be ready. Talking about Mike. Or who? We're saying, oh, yeah, Alan's got his steak. He's ready to face nap that steak. Yep. Alan says, okay, fine, I'll stay. All right, yeah, because it's not the end of the live stream yet. Besides, if I started late, I might go 15 minutes over. Yeah. So opal napping requires being soaked, says Mike Mason. No, you don't need to soak the opal in water. Is that what you're asking? Magnus Horace says, you're awesome, sir. Love this channel. Thank you. Thank you. I always enjoy a comment like that or a compliment like that. Makes it feel worthwhile. Thank you. Thank you. Jim Cooper says, good night, everyone. Pat, let me know when you get that package. I look forward to seeing what you think. Okay, I sure will. Yeah. I'll take a picture and tell you when it arrives. Alan Cole says, I inhaled the steak. That was fast. Mike Mason says, but don't heat treat opal? Yeah, don't heat treat opal. Don't heat treat it. No. Opal naps fine in a raw state. And if it doesn't, you've got bad quality opal. Just keep looking. You don't need to heat treat opal. Opal? OPO? No, opal. OPAL. Like the jewel, like the gemstone. You mean you can nap gemstones like that? Yeah, you can. Not all of them are nappable, but there are some that are nappable. And not all opal is nice as far as gemstone quality. Some of it looks like little brown stones that are very, very ugly. Not all opals have nice colors and stuff. Yeah. I had somebody sent me some mustard colored opal. It looked like mustard stone. And someone sent me some brown opal. Probably the same guy. I just can't, I apologize. I can't remember who sends me this stuff. Yeah, that's another. Just another warning. If you send me stuff, and I refer to it later, I'll probably forget who sent it to me. So please don't be offended that I forget who sends me what, because that happens a lot. I can't remember who sent me that stuff, that awesome, great stuff. Yeah. And it's not a senior moment. It's just I've never been able to remember these things because I'm a very visual person. Unless I have a visual of the name and the stone together, it's very rare that I remember. Let's see if I can damage control this before the time is up. We got 1 minute until 10 p.m., but I'm going to go a little bit over. Okay? I started a little late today. Oh, that was almost a voila. Almost. I took off a big flake right there. I hit it right here where you can see I took a bite out of it. Tried to run it all the way across and get that step fracture, but it didn't do it. It didn't reach. Dang it. What am I going to do? Yeah. Am I going to have to open a can of whoop ass? So I'm going to have to do that. Mm-hmm. Don't tell nobody. I'm going to have open up that can. Mm-hmm. You're not going to want to watch this. Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is a sensitive content. You may not want to watch this. You may want to click away. Well, not like that. I'm trying to set up the edge so I can do a very dangerous thing here. But I don't think it'll do it. I don't think I can even set up that edge properly. No. So you don't have to turn away. False alarm. Yeah. Sensitive content. False alarm. Mm-hmm. Just normal sweat stage. So it's already 10:01. Yay. Live stream is still not over. I'm going to go over a little bit. I started late because of technical difficulties. Besides, I don't want to stop on this one just yet. I want to try to get it thinner. Right? Are we seeing what's going on? Or I'm dropping it down so you can't see. I hope I'm not dropping it down to where you can't see. That happens a lot. Okay? I'm hitting it with strikes that could break it at any time. Because the thinner it gets, the harder you need to strike, believe it or not. To get those big flakes, to get big flakes on thin material, you need to hit it really, really hard with the way that I do it. But as long as you're using indirect percussion, your accuracy does not suffer. So that's the advantage. One of the advantages, you can hit really, really hard, very accurately. So even though it's like a nail biter, you're not going to ruin the piece once you get used to it. So I took a big flake, it broke up, but see, late stage large flakes, that big old flake there, and it's thin, relatively thin. To be doing that size of flake on something that thin requires not only a lot of practice, but you've got to grit your teeth a little bit and just do it. Get used to, risking everything. Yeah. And I noticed that effect on artifacts too. They risked a lot. So what I'm doing is I'm creeping down until I get to that nasty step fracture area. It's not on the other side. It's that one there. I messed that up a little bit earlier by too much in force. Struck in too much instead of down. I should have struck a little bit down more than I struck in. Okay. So now I got to fix it. And in my other videos, when you see the first person view, I explain that a lot of times I do a lot of other work around the point just so I can get one spot taken care of. Okay. Just that one little crud spot right there that I'm working on. Even though I'm working on other areas, hopefully I can sneak up on that and blast it out of there. See, I'm blasting pieces out, okay, with very hard hits. See how big that flake is? And it's thin, so it's a nail biter. And I have one more chance to get that last bit. We'll see if it works. We'll see if I can do the voila and get it done. Yes? I don't know. This helps a lot. The files, the diamond files. Let's see if it did it. The reveal, the big reveal. I think it did it. I was sneaky. I did it. I sneaked it. See that? I sneaked it all the way down. It could see it coming, right? So it was saying to me, "No, you can't get it. You can't get me. No, not even that. You're blowing away all this, and no, you're not gonna be able to get me. I got you. Yeah, you can hide. I'll still get you. You can run. You can hide. I'll still get you." Now we just gotta make it symmetrical because it's too thin in that spot. Yep, I gotta thin it down lower in that lower area. It looks like it's not going to be a Scots bluff because the base is going to be pointed. Looks like. In order for me to thin it down, I've got to make this area kind of pointy. I might have been a little too aggressive because it looks like I scooped out a bunch on that last strike. I scooped out a bunch. Where is it? Yeah, here I scooped out quite a bit. Let's see. Can you hear the difference in tone? Maybe. Sometimes you can hear a difference in tone when I don't hit it as hard versus when I do hit it hard. See, in order to get big bold flakes at this stage, I got to hit it really hard. But I think I'll stop there because anything further risks snapping the whole thing. It's thin enough to make whatever I want to make out of it. Any kind of point, as long as it's 5:1 or better with the thickness ratio, you can just shape it and sharpen it. Once you get the thinness down, unless you're going for ultra thin, once you get the thinness down, you can just make whatever you want. You can just trim around the edges and then put notches and reform the base or reform the tip. You don't have to worry about the thickness. All right. Now, some guys, they realize that some artifacts are thinned all the way to the last stages, and the original nappers, they didn't just trim around the edges at the end, right? They continued to thin all the way to the last stage. Can you see the contours? Big bowl flakes, and they stop near the center. That's what I'm having to do on a lot of these Scottsbluff preforms. So I'm getting used to running them to the center. Okay. You can learn to predict the endings of the flake fairly well, but it's the most unpredictable part of the flake. You have to get used to it over and over and over again. And I still end up with step fractures in the middle. See that? So there's the danger. You can still get step fractures in the middle. That's one way to stop the flake in the middle, but it's not a good way. All right, so let's see what I got. I'm going to wrap up this live stream. Did everyone leave already? Let's see. No? Let's see here. Mike, I'll tell you through you'll see. All right, let me go back. Roy says, my shoulders are sore from trying to do sequential multi-pass pressure flaking. Yes. I missed Roy's entrance. Peach Pit Obsidian. Yeah, I'm going to do that later. Okay, let's see. Pulitzer Opal Fog Naps Australian Opal. Precious Opals. I don't think I remember that channel. Let's see. Well, Jack can trade our emails. Yeah, I can contact someone or send someone your emails if you're not able to contact them directly. Roy Browski says you must be very late. Yeah, the timestamp on your comment is 10:03. Okay, so that means you're 3 minutes past the ending of the live stream. You're lucky I'm running late or running over tonight because I started late. I started like 15 minutes late because of the technical difficulties. I'm using my phone to record the live stream, so you can see there's a difference in video quality, right? That's because I'm using my phone to record the live stream. My phone's battery is draining quickly. The Christmas lights effect on my glasses is funny. I have Christmas lights down here to change the lighting a little bit to warm it up because with my other lights, it's too stark. It looks like I'm in an office or something. Mike Mason says Roy was Minecrafting and making arrows. Yeah, I hear that all the time about Minecraft, and you can make primitive stuff in Minecraft. I just don't know. I've never played Minecraft. And my shoulders, one of my shoulders gets sore from doing multi-pass pressure flaking sequential. Yeah. But it's getting better. I do exercises to mitigate the imbalance because I generated and was it impacted? It's not called impact. Impinged. I impinged my right shoulder So I had, and I, because I developed the muscles in front too much from pressure flaking. I impinged the shoulder, so every time I would move, it would force it forward too much, even doing normal things. So I had to develop muscles behind my shoulder to pull that arrangement back into place. And now I don't have the shoulder impingement. Alan says, what happened when the farmer crossbred his cattle with hyenas? It was the laughing stock of the farm. Roy says, I was sculpting a woolly mammoth actually and totally forgot. Sculpting a woolly mammoth? How do you do that? On a big piece of wood? Or do you carve like big old tree stumps? Let's see. Okay, Jim's giving some advice on napping something here. Let me see here. Mike Tufts is still here. Ralph Snyder's still here. Roy is still here. Mike Mason's still here. Ellen says, why do chicken coops have only 2 doors? Because if they had 4 doors, they would be chicken sedans. Mike says, Mike Mason, oh, my shoulders are fine. It's been raining. I should have played Minecraft, though. Roy says, I'm 25. At 25, I'm realizing I can't sit on the floor as long anymore. Even at 25? Wow. Ralph says, Patrick, Texas Ranger and Dudley Do Right all get their man. Yep. Let's see. Mike made it to number 1 again. These crowns with the numbers on them. What karate moves does a pig do best? Pork chop. I could have guessed that one. Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to end the live stream as soon as I catch up with the chat. Okay, so however long that takes. Killer Cork says, hello, all. Well, I know this is the very ass end of the live, but hey, better than nothing. Yep, better than nothing. Roy says, I've been primitive all day and I felt it. Gorilla fingers. Who's got gorilla fingers? Says Ralph. Ralph, who's got gorilla fingers? Let's see. Ellen Cole asks, why are teddy bears never hungry? They are always stuffed. Yep. Mm-hmm. Roy Browski says it's hard to get flakes across thin glass. Yeah, if it's flat, because flakes like a little bit of convexity. That's why convexity is so important. You didn't know about convexity being important for flakes? The flakes, they're curved. See, the flakes like to be curved. If you study how much curvature that is, you can make sure your bifaces are that curved all the time. It's not the same curvature every time, right? There's subtle differences. But if you can get used to the averages of how curved that is and keep your bifaces that curved, you won't have as much trouble. The problem is people want to buy what is almost physically impossible to produce. Some stones will allow you to run flatter flakes than other stones. Okay. One of the characteristics of a high grade stone is it will run flatter flakes. Now, you might say, does that mean this curved flake makes Knife River Flint bad? Because look at its curve. Yeah, but it's not as curved as some other ones. Okay. I don't have something to show you. But yeah, that is curved. It's not that bad though. I've seen a lot worse. And yeah, it's high grade. It will step. It is starting to step in the middle. So this particular piece is more prone to diving than other pieces. Every piece is slightly different. Okay. I don't want to get into it. Let me close up the live stream. All right. Let's see. Peter Cohn says, I'm playing Minecraft right now. Not exactly realistic in how you make stuff. I see. Yeah, I heard about that too. What did the judge say when the skunk walked in the courtroom? Odor, odor in the court. Yeah, everyone say hi to Killer Cork. Bill Taylor says, I'll join you guys next time. Next time I can. Thanks a lot, Pat. Great live show. Thank you. Thank you. Good to see you, Bill. I look forward to that package. Roy says, oh boy, my muscles aren't ready for this. Mike Mason, what method of flaking are you using, Roy? Roy says, I'm sculpting it from clay around a wire skeleton wrapped in foil. I see. That's what that's sculpting for sure. Sculpting it from clay around a wire skeleton wrapped in foil. Are you using a certain scale? Like, is it a 1/3 scale, 1/6, or 1/20th? I'm curious. Okay. Bob M. Photo says, thanks for the live stream, Patrick, and for the wealth of knowledge and techniques you share both live and in your videos. Have a good night. Have a good night, Bob. Thank you. Thank you. Gulf Coast Knapping is here. He's late. Yeah, it's 10:14 p.m. on the when I can see the timestamps. I can see your guys' timestamps. You can't. Yeah, you're 14 minutes after the end of the live stream. I'm going long because I started late. Yeah, but good to see you. Uh, so people are looking for arrowheads on Sunday. Okay. Part 1 and part 2. How's Patrick today? Says Gulf Coast Knapping. I'm doing okay. Yeah, if it wasn't for technical difficulties, it'd be perfect. Why did the lion spit out the clown? Because he tasted funny. Roy says, driving I'm driving them flat across. Yeah. When you drive flakes, they don't like to be flat. When you're pressure flaking either. That's why a lot of these flake over grind guys are now grinding in a convexity instead of just a flatness as before. The first original slabs were all flat, but now they're grinding in the convexity. I mean, I suppose some guys learned really early on, many years ago, that you can grind in the convexity. But all the slabs that I saw when I first started were all flat, just cut on the saw, and they just sell them flat. They didn't pre-grind it or post-grind it into a convex surface. But now they're doing it a lot more. I can buy both flat and pre-ground or convexly ground slabs from the guys that cut the slabs. Good night, Killer Cork. Yep, have a good night, everybody. Let's see. The next live stream is Monday, 8. No, let's see, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, I'm going to end the live stream here. I think I'm caught up with the chat. Yep, Alan's definitely got the jokes. Okay, it's 10:21 p.m. Eastern time where I am. So I'm going to end the chat. I'm going to have a little snack and go to bed. Yeah, heavy day of Flintknapping tomorrow. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday are my 3 heavy napping days, or my main napping days. I try not to nap more than 4 days a week. So if you send me messages, emails, and stuff on those days, on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I might not get to you until Monday, until the next live stream. So on the next live stream, you ask me, did you see my email? I might not have gotten to it because I'm doing heavy amounts of napping Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Okay, so just so you know, thanks everybody. Good night. Good to see everybody. This is always a lot of fun. Yeah. All right. Good night. Bye bye.